Hello there, welcome to Find Beer Keg Projects, my YouTube channel. Now my YouTube channel's only been going for a couple of months and I put up a few KeyKeg projects, as some of you might be aware, and Google says I'm doing quite well. So I was just looking through the list and I thought, well, if you're new to this channel, what have I done? So this is going to be a quick review of the 8 projects I've done to date, and it's also kill two birds with one stone. I wanted to try out my new Insta360 1-inch camera, and since it can shoot in multiple directions at once, it means less work for me. So let's see how this all turns out. Project number 1. Here is what kicked it all off, and as you can see from the first video, project 1, I do have a few more canisters now, and I've been collecting them from a few more sources. We have 20-litre KeyKegs and we have 30-litre KeyKegs. And I do have a poly keg. They're a little bit of a different animal. Haven't quite sussed out how to use those yet. But I like key kegs, so that's what I'll be trying to collect in future. Project number 1, making the key kegs into just basically glass covers, mini greenhouses. And then here I've got some chilies growing quite nicely. That's an ordinary plant pot, by the way. Here another variation on project 1, the bell cover. This is a 30-litre key keg, and then here we've got chilies growing, and we use the base of the key keg to hold dirt. Makes quite a nice little sealed unit. Coming in at project number 3 is my terrarium project. And then here I've taken plants from my garden, put in a few air plants, and this 30-litre key keg project has worked extremely well. I've already had to trim the plants a few times, which obviously says I've got not quite the right plants in here, but I've not had to water it. Project number 4 on my solar heaters. Now, if you've not seen this before, this is a double skin 30-litre and 20-litre key keg with Coke cans inside, painted black so they absorb heat. So cold air goes in at the bottom of the key keg and hot air comes out at the top. And these have been working extremely well, and it's free heat. This was my project number 5, my first attempt at hydroponics, but now I've combined that with effectively 5 and 2 together. Project number 2, we have the horizontal, very easy to make plant growers. And as you can see here, I've got my Nespresso plant pots in here, all growing very nicely. In future though, when I make these, I'll be making them all with lids like these. Just makes them a bit more flexible in that you can put them outside without filling up with water. I've learned a lot since then in terms of how to cut the key kegs. With these I cut them with scissors. They're a little bit rough around the edges. Now I use electric scissors. If you want to see how I made these are Nespresso coffee capsules where I empty out the coffee, put in a sponge. Then I have a video on that too, so do have a look in the list of videos. Project number 6, my beer fermenter. Now if you've watched that video, in here I have ginger beer, and as you can see it's doing quite nicely. So that's been going a few weeks now, probably a little bit too long. Again, this is using a 30-litre inner shell key keg, and I fitted the tap. I'm looking forward to having a tipple out of that. Here is project number 7, and this one I'm very pleased about. This came about from an idea from one of my subscribers. He suggested this crack key hydroponics, so I looked it up, found out, and it's even easier to do than the deep water hydroponics with pumps and water pumping around. So this is the first one. In here we have a sweet potato plant. Don't know what happens when it does produce sweet potatoes, but we'll wait till that happens. But at the moment I think it's very happy in there, doing very nicely. And I've done another 2 of these since. We have another crack key keg here. This is a 20-litre key keg with basically the lid turned upside down, holding the plant pot, as you can see, and it's making my chilies very happy. And the latest but not least is the project number 8, and this is a simple vertical hydroponics based on my matrix key keg, which is yet to come out. So if you want to see that, I will be doing that soon when the parts arrive. So be sure to hit that subscription button, turn on notifications, and you'll get to see that video. So this is project number 8. As with all previous projects and future projects, I do try to use as much of a key keg as possible, and where there are any leftovers, I keep the parts for any bits and pieces for future key keg projects. If you like this video, then please do give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see future projects, then do hit that subscription button. Be sure to turn on notifications. Now, I'd really love to hear what you do for your key keg projects, what you've made. So do add them to any of the comments in any of my videos. And of course, I do have an Instagram page, and I do have a Facebook page, same name, Fine Beer Keg Projects. So again, you can put comments in there, and I would just love to hear from you. Anyway, keep safe, keep well, and I'll catch up with you guys next time.